Guys again for coming for our bi-weekly sessions webinar about behind the scenes TMS business. And this week we are going to talk about the upcoming feature of TMS Aurelius, which is TMS Aurelius Dictionary. And as usual, if you have any questions, comments, compliments, complaints, please write in the chat. This is a live session and we will be here for you. Another one regular reminder. This is, as I said, this is a bi-weekly webinar. So please go to our support session, our support center. There is a topic there about our webinar. Actually, let me, shame on me, I could have found the link already. If you are watching this on YouTube, you will not see the link, but go to support center, search for behind the scenes. Support center is support.tmssoftware.com. And this is the link, guys. Subscribe to it. We have our schedule there, the replays for previous webinars. So watch the topic to get new information. In 2 weeks, we'll have a webinar about TMS Xdata and WebCore, an overview about how to connect from WebCore to REST servers, to backend servers with Xdata. But this week, we're going to talk about TMS Aurelius Dictionary. This is an upcoming feature. It's not yet released, but I'll show you, of course, this is the behind the scenes. I'll show you what's going on. It's finished. We are working on the documentation and final tests, and it should be released in a couple of weeks maximum. So Aurelius already have a dictionary feature. The thing is, it was done many years ago, before lots of new features were introduced in Aurelius, so it was limited by the way Aurelius was at the time. So we are now doing an improvement over the existing dictionary feature. And for you to remind, the dictionary is generated by TMS Data Modeler. Let me go back a little bit to explain what the dictionary is. A quick 5-minute review of TMS Aurelius here, right? So here is a blank Delphi application. Again, TMS Aurelius is an ORM, is an object relational mapping. It's supposed to help you to save and load data from your database using objects. TMS Aurelius connection is the component that you can use to connect to existing databases. How you configure a connection here. The usual database that I use for samples, which is SQL Server database using LocalDB. And the database I usually use is the Northwind one. I'm connecting directly to the database using the native Aurelius driver. You can use FireDeck or whatever you want. So the connection is configured here. And I can use the feature to generate entities from the database. Actually, I'll use Data Modeler here for that. Here's the Data Modeler tool. It's another option. I can do that from TMS Data Modeler or from the IDE. I use the Data Modeler here because I know that this version I have here is generating the dictionary in the previous version. I'm not sure if the IDE in my development machine, maybe it's already generating the new one. So let me use the old one first. I have the Northwind database modeled here. Okay, this is my database. And we have a tool here that most of you probably already know about, which is TMS Aurelius classes export. So I have my database tables, and these will generate, let me change some options here. This will generate the source code for me. So with Aurelius classes here, So I can simply copy and paste. I can generate the file, but let me copy and paste here. So we have a new unit, call it entities. With all the classes. So I have one class for each table that I have in my database, category, employee, etc. And optionally, I can also ask it to generate a dictionary for me. You create a new unit here and save as the unit name dictionary. Okay. Let's see if it compiles. No problem here. So let's start using it. I have my connection. Let me drop Aurelius manager here and Aurelius datasets, data source, DB grids, connect the things. And the manager connection. Okay. Button here. So let's do some code here. Let's close the data set, open it later. And here we do an Aurelius query, Aurelius dataset 1, set source criteria. And here we are going to write our query, okay? So Aurelius manager 1, let's find some customers. I believe I have to use the unit here. Let's use the unit entities. Okay. Sorry. Find customer. Just find customer for now. Sorry, I forgot the name of the class. It's oh, it didn't generate it everything. Sorry. That it was not selected here, the customers. So let's do it again. The units with the classes here, entities, and the unit with the dictionary here. All right. Let's see if we have our customer there. All right, customer. Okay, so no, guys, you didn't miss anything. I'm just setting up a regular Aurelius application. This is where it's going to start. So now I have my objects here. Aurelius brought, executing a SQL statement in the database, converted that the results into objects, and the Aurelius data set is showing the objects in the grid. Okay. Now, if you want to do some query here, for example, filter customers, we can use something like this, where I want to find my customers where, and then I have to use a link here where I have to know the name of my fields actually. So for example, I have to go to class customer here, and company name is the name of the property. So I can use something like this, where company name contains what's in the edit1.txt. Okay, so this is how Aurelius queries work. So if I empty here, we have everything. And then if we do some like TO, we'll filter here, TON. So we have, okay, simple query with Aurelius. You see it's a Aurelius is very powerful. I can query the objects by properties, etc. So the dictionary, the old one and the new one, the point is it tries to solve this problem here, okay? We are filtering the customers. I'm working with the objects most of the time, but for Aurelius queries, I cannot make a reference to customer company name. So I cannot do something like this where the customer.company name contains something, all right? This is a limitation of Delphi. There is no way we can do that. We can do a direct reference to an object property like this. If Delphi had something like where some pointer or something like that, where we can do at the customer.company name or whatever like that, that would be possible, but we don't have it. In C#, for example, you have Lambda and you have expression trees where the expression you write in your C# code, the structure of the expression is available to you at runtime. So that way you can see that you have a property being compared to some text at runtime, and then an ORM in C# or .NET, for example, can do that translation. It's not possible in Delphi. So in ORM in Delphi, if you see some magic there, if there are some queries that looks like you are using the object property, that's some kind of trick, some kind of magic. And usually you have to generate that code from an existing model. That's what we did here. Okay, we have the database, data modeler has generated Aurelius classes and the dictionary for us. There's no different way to do that. So the old dictionary, which data modeler generated here, that's its intention. It has a list of all the classes that we have and the name of the properties, so that instead of writing something like this, link, a string company name, I can use the dictionary. And write something like this. Dictionary is available in the variable dic. Sorry about the word. dic.customer.company-name.prop name. Okay. This is how you use it. The old one, this is the old one dictionary. Okay. And then the same way I have the query. So this is any of you using this dictionary? Please write in the chat, please, if there is someone here using this old Aurelius dictionary this way. So this is fine. Okay. What are the advantages of using the dictionary? Is that first, you don't have to remember the name of the properties. So you have code completion here, customer, company name, and you don't have so much risk to write the wrong property name. So you only find the problem at runtime, right? If I do something like this, company name true or company name E, if I do a typo there, I have a runtime error, not a compile time error. Okay, property company name E not found on class T customer. Okay, so it's harder for you to write a wrong property name. Good. All right. I see most of you are not aware of this, but this is the old one. This is the bad one. Okay, the ugly one. The problem here is that this is an improvement, but there are some problems with this dictionary. First, if you change your model, unless you are using a database first approach, which is from the data modeler, if you generate your classes yourself, there is no way to generate this old dictionary. Okay, only data modeler can do that. So you are stick to a database first approach. So you have to have your database, existing database, or you have to edit your database structure in data modeler, and then from there generate both Aurelius classes and the dictionary. If I create a new class here, it's not possible. And second, it's not the best approach yet because it's a little bit verbose, because you have to use link and then the prefix, customer, company name, property name, and the brackets here. And also, if by any reason you change the name there, for example, this is, if you see here in company name, you see in the create here, this is what it does. This is how the dictionary is implemented. It's just a bunch of constants. So if I change here, you usually won't do that, but if for any reason the dictionary is modified, or for example, if I modify this entity here, change the name of the mapped class, and this will also fail. So the same problem. So the new dictionary is solves the same problem, is for the same purpose. It's just, it's better, it's easier to use, and it has more features. Are you ready to see? Let's go. First of all, my data modeler here is not updated. So let's see if I can generate the new dictionary with this approach here. Singularize. Okay, it's the new dictionary. So I can let me overwrite this unit here. Forget about this. And all right. So let me stop using the old dictionary for now. So here's how we're going to do it now. Let me comment this line here. Now we use where dictionary dot customer dot company name contains edit one dot text. Okay, you see it's less verbose. You don't have to use link and prop name, etc. You just use this way. Okay, same way, but it feels more natural. So we can also use, for example, dict.customer dot I don't know, country equals Brazil, for example. So we have customers from Brazil. Okay. I think it's better this way, isn't it? It really looks like you are querying the object. It's just customer country equals Brazil. You can do something like this. You can use cust, for example. It's this dictionary.customer, and then you can just use it like this to have a shorter name. So, for example, where customer company name contains edit one, or customer country is from Brazil. So it's very fluid. Mm. So we have customers from Brazil and customers that which name contain Tom. Okay. I believe it's much easier to write the query and to read the query. Okay. They're returning T criteria, yes. Okay. But there is more here. The associations are now easier to use. So, for example, let me order here. Let me change the object that I'm retrieving and use T order. Okay. So this is a list of all the orders I have. Let me add some anchor here. Okay. We have the orders here. And what if I want to filter the orders where customer country equals edit one.text. So edit one, there is no country named edit one, but we have country Brazil, for example. So these are all orders where the country of the customer is from Brazil. Okay, so it's much easier now to query through the object tree. In case you don't remember or you don't know about it, the way to do that before was to do something like this: create alias, customer ID, C, and then where link c.country equals edit one.text. You had to create alias that represents an association. Okay. But now you can simply do this. And you can go deeper into the tree, of course. I don't have this object here, but you can use the order.invoice.customer.country.name equals, and the query will work fine. Okay. Granted, this is not a specific feature of dictionary only, because now you can also use it like this without the dictionary. You don't have to create alias anymore. You can also use link customer ID.country equals edit one.text. This is working now without the dictionary. Okay. You don't have to create an alias anymore. You can use what we call the auto alias feature, which is turn it on by default. But the dictionary, this feature actually was implemented because of the dictionary. But with the dictionary, it's much easier, right? Because you can go through the object tree very easily. Edward is asking, so just make sure I can create a dictionary from the BPL that I have already. Okay. So this is how we use the dictionary. And now we are going to two more great features, the difference between this one and the old one. The first one is, yes, while the old dictionary can only be generated from data modeler, now you can generate this dictionary from anywhere. So if you have a class first or code first approach, where you don't use data modeler, you don't import your database, you just create your Aurelius classes, you can create your dictionary from those classes. Okay. There are 3 ways to do that. First, the data modeler, the upcoming new version of data modeler will generate a dictionary with the new syntax. You have the option to choose, do I want to generate the old dictionary or the new one? And the other 2 options are these. First, you can generate your dictionary from your existing classes from inside your own application. Okay, I can have a button here, for example, and use the Aurelius Dictionary generator. And from the button, I use the dictionary generator, generate file, and I can simply say d trash my dictionary dot pass, and I pass the mapping explorer that I want. So if you have different models in your application, you should generate a different dictionary for each model or explorer you have. By default, if you don't pass an explorer, you use the default one, but you have the option to generate it for different model. So that's just it. Okay. Okay, it's generated. And if I navigate to that folder, here it is. Okay, the dictionary is there for you. All right, this is awesome because that was a big limitation of the previous dictionary. Again, it was only generated via data modeler. For my own projects, I rarely use data modeler because unless it's a legacy database, for new projects, I always like to, it's my personal preference to create the classes and then ask Aurelius to create the database from the classes. So I could not use a dictionary myself. And now it's possible because with a single line of code, you can use that. Okay. The other way to generate a dictionary is like Eduardo said, you can have a package with your classes and then generate the dictionary from there, from outside your application. I think this is the easiest way. You just have your classes in some package applications or whatever, create a function in your anywhere, fire that function, call this line. This dictionary generator actually has a lot of options. Okay, I'm using the easy one here, but you have lots of options to generate your files. So have your classes inside your executable and call this, because of course the only way to have information about the classes is inside the executable. But there is also another option which is this command line here, Aurelius Dictionary Generator .dproj. This is just a Delphi application demo that will be included in your Aurelius distribution. You can just compile it here. You can modify it. Okay. As you wish. And the idea, I'm not sure if you're going to use this, but the idea is that maybe you can use this for automated process. Like if you want to automate something in a distribution, you can call this command line to automate it. Sorry. Windows, thank you. Okay, this is a command line. TMS Aurelius Dictionary Generator, you have the options here. So basically, you call the generator, and you pass a package, for example, my entities.bpl, and some other options here that doesn't matter now, and the name of your unit. So it will generate the dictionary for you from a BPL. Okay, that's another option you have. So there is not much excuse to not use the dictionary. Before I go to the last very cool feature, let me check your questions here. Any questions, any comments so far? Eduard is asking, I can create a dictionary from the BPL that I have already. Yes, you saw it. Roland is asking, can the dictionary be defined via multiple files? Not sure if I understand that, but maybe you are asking about the model. So if you have multiple models, multiple Aurelius models in your application, you can, of course, generate one dictionary per model, and each dictionary will be in its own unit. Okay. And last but not least, the dictionary has a validation system, because you might ask, okay, what if I forget to call the command line? Or what if I forget to oh man. What if I forget to what? I was going to say to update the dictionary. If I change my classes, okay, create new classes, change property names, and I forget to regenerate my dictionary, I have an inconsistent dictionary, and it might lead to the compilation might fail, or even worse, it might be accessing different properties. So there is now a dictionary validator that you run at runtime that just checks if the dictionary is in sync with your classes. Oh boy, something happened here with my ID. Wait a minute. Okay. Like, for example, okay, let me run the dictionary here. So in the button click, what can I do is just this. I use the Aurelius Dictionary validator, okay? And I say the dictionary validator dot check and pass the dictionary to it. Okay, it's working. But what happens if, for example, I change the property company name to company name 2, or I create a new property like extra, even if this will not cause the dictionary to fail, but I will not have that property there. Let me map it here. 1 second, guys. It's too complicated to use Aurelius. I'm kidding. Okay, when I click the button here, it will say invalid dictionary. Property company name 2 is missing in dictionary. Property extra is missing, and property company name should not exist. Okay, so the dictionary is outdated. There is no more company name. There is company name 2 in a new extra. So with this validation, you are sure that you have a compilation time check of your dictionary. So you make sure that when you use dictionary.order.customer.company name, this is sure that it's the latest version, that if it compiles, if it does not compile, it's okay. And if you forget to update, you saw that you get an error. So if I generate my dictionary again here, you see now the dictionary is updated here with company name 2. See here? This is not the unit I'm using, but let me change it here. And now you have dic.order.customer. Where is it? Okay, okay, got it. Just because I have this dictionary here in the entities. So it's a confusion here about because of the webinar, guys. But I have 3 different dictionaries here because I'm generating. I confuse the Delphi which one to use. Okay, so this validation here, just like the generator, this validator has lots of features here. You can not ask it to not generate an exception, but instead to generate a list of errors, so you can check the errors, the differences, etc. So now, with all this set of tools, with the generation of dictionary from anywhere, from the database or from your classes, and the automatic alias and the dictionary validation, you now have a kind of, like I said, in Delphi, it's not 100% possible, but you have a kind of more real link here where you really search for your objects and you have your company name in a safe way, in a typed, strong typed way. Okay? So that's coming in Aurelius. I hope you have liked it, this feature. And let me know your comments and if you have any questions about this. You are a little bit quiet today, guys. What's going on? Are you sinking in? Okay. Yep. If Eduardo said I was too fast, if you have any questions, if I want me to repeat some steps here that were not clear, please let me know. Indeed, I try to be fast because you can always replay this. Actually, we are just finishing the documentation. Maybe next week it will be ready. I personally really like the auto association here. Dictionary and order.customer.company name. Compared to the previous one, which was already easy, it's really cool. It's not available yet. Yeah, we're finishing, and it's coming in the next Aurelius version. But it will not take long, as I said, maximum 2 weeks to be released. Okay. Let me do a small poll here to see if what do you think about it, the content, the presentation, and that's what I like to present to you today. And the next webinar in 2 weeks will be about Xdata and WebCore. And I'll be here for a little bit more if you have questions about this or if anything was not clear. Okay. Oh, sorry. My mistake are running again. Seem you like the content and the presentation. All right, thank you guys. I'll be here for a couple more minutes for questions. And stay tuned for the upcoming dictionary feature. Thank you, Terry. Very appreciated. Mika is asking, can you remember if there is limit of Delphi unit size? I don't think so. You have too many entities there. But I believe the dictionary will be smaller than the entities themselves. But I don't think there is a limit. Any teasers on Xauth? Good question. Xauth is coming also after this, but we are working hard. We are already documenting Xauth. It's coming, it's coming. Sorry for the delay, but it will be here. What happens if you have 400 entities? I didn't test it yet, but I don't think there will be any problem. It's just a class. When you have a new update in a couple of weeks, as I said, so should be, what's the English words? Oh, I forgot the English word, but should be conservative this month, for sure. Yes, this session is recorded, is being recorded, and we replay on YouTube. For every webinar, you receive a link with the replay after it's available. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for attending, and see you in 2 weeks. Okay.